Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kingdom of Kodiak. I'm Kodiak. With me today, Baronetess, Tara Wolf, Tracker of the Mundane. How are you doing?
Of the Mundane. Yes, doing great.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming on. And without any hesitation, let's get to the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. Would like to know how long have you been playing Amtgard?
I started in 1999.
Oh, so a minute.
Yeah, just a couple of couple of moons.
Yeah.
Just a few. It's fine.
One of the pictures you sent to set up for the KOK site, I was like, wow, that's a while ago.
Yeah.
That's a wow. Okay. Sweet. Awesome. And what got you into playing Amtgard?
Well, I actually lived close to the Ren Fair in Las Cruces, and I would constantly just sneak in the morning and not leave until the evening. And there was Amtgarders out there, and I thought it was cooler than watching the SCAers beat each other black and blue. So when I hit 15, I just rode my bike on out there.
Nice. Cool. All right. So tell us about your persona. Where does Tara Wolf come from?
So I've always had a thing for cat people, and I've loved the name Tara for a long time. But the wolf part is kind of the funny bit. See, originally she was supposed to be Wolf Killer for having defended her den against a pack of wolves. But unfortunately, when I showed up at the park, there was a ton of wolf riders. And somehow I decided that the better part of valor was discretion. And I dropped the killer part of my name. So now I have a cat person who is called Tara Wolf.
Fair enough. Okay. And Deverick specifically wanted to ask about the Tracker of the Mundane title. How does one come across that?
So I was at Fort Hood, stationed there, and I was part of Murky Waters, and the sheriff at the time was looking to gain access to the Boy Scout campsite that was on Fort Hood property. And nobody could figure out who to talk to get it. Until I started just pulling strings until finally somebody told me who to talk to. And that's how I became Tracker of the Mundane.
Cool. All right. Tara Wolf, which award or achievement would you say that you're most proud of receiving?
I have to say my Baronetess. I really feel really proud about that.
Okay. Any specific reason why, or?
No, I just think my castle's really pretty. They gave me a castle. It's awesome.
Awesome. Cool. Morgan would like to know, what's your favorite class battle game?
I like most class battle games. I don't care what the objectives are, as long as there's something that I can shoot people in.
Fair enough. Okay.
I'm not a picky person.
And Sir Elicard and Cassia would like to know, what's your favorite class to play when you're in these battle games?
I'm not gonna lie, Scout has always been my go-to. I also play a mean healer, but that's just because I can rattle off the heal spell like nobody's business. But I've dabbled here and there, but primarily Scout. Scout's always been my favorite class at heart. But I have 90 credits in it.
Deverick would like to know, what's your favorite weapon set for fighting?
So if I'm not going to be shivving people with my arrows from a distance, I prefer either a sword and shield because it lets me melee a little bit longer, or a polearm. Unfortunately, my stamina is not that great because I got a collapsing bronchial tube, so I can't melee very long.
For sure. Actually, MacGyver had brought up something about your polearm, that you're deadly with it. When and
how did you? For a short period of time.
Yeah, well, in short bursts. That's fine. You're still very good with it. So MacGyver just wanted to know, how and when did you decide to pick that up as a skill?
So I've never been really good with sword and board. I can do it, but I'm not great. And when I got a chance to pick up some bamboo, probably back before 03, so it must have been 02-ish, I picked up some bamboo, made myself a polearm, and started attempting to fight with it. I got a bit better when I went to Texas because I got on the field with my husband, Sir Theolanthalus from CK, and he's all like, "Who's this chick with a polearm on my field?" And so we started fighting.
And it was love at first fight.
Well, not quite, but it got there.
Fantastic. Well, those are the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. Let's get to the questions KOK viewers been asking since episode 1. I know it's bear puns abundant here on KOK.
It's okay.
It's just
I'll bear
what we
with
do.
it.
Sir Glenolf should have a toaster via Sir Alucard, via me, via Calthrax. Does Sir Glenolf deserve a soda maker?
No, he needs more toasters.
He needs more toasters.
Yes.
People of Amtgard, Dragonspine, in the Kingdom of Kodiak universe, buy Sir Glenolf more toasters.
A nicer one, like a fancy one.
Oh, fancy toaster. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Stillhat would like to.
The toaster of all toasters.
The one toaster to rule them all.
Exactly.
Stillhat would like to know, who's the best bear?
I got to go with Mama Bear. Stillhat's gotta. Yeah. Gotta go with Stillhat. I'm sorry, Kodiak.
That's
You're
fine.
bearable, but Stillhat's just fluffy and cute.
Yeah. Well, okay. Congratulations, Stillhat. You took it this week. We are in a Christmas time Black Friday savings thing. So instead of giving you the traditional 1,000 points, we're going to reduce the price and only give you 10. Freya would like to know, why are bears so overrated?
Ooh, because they're land tanks.
An actual
Bears
reason.
are land tanks. They will eat anything, and they can move like 35 miles per hour when they're booking it. Land tanks.
What are your thoughts on Dragonspine getting a mobile pool and or jacuzzi?
I am intrigued but terrified.
Okay. We learned this weekend that Deverick is enforcing the rule that at least the household of Kodiak will have a jacuzzi. But if we did get a mobile pool and or jacuzzi for the kingdom, how would you fund it?
Probably water balloon fights. It just
Water balloon fights
seems to be the right kind of way to go about it.
Okay. All right. Buy-ins for water balloon fights.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, those are the questions KOK viewers have been asking since episode 1. And it's episode 89. So we've asked those for a minute. Let's get into your actual questions, starting with Stillhat's question that's become the new starter. TerraWolf, what is your weirdest flex?
Hunting monks. As a scout, it is always amazing when I tag the monk and they give me that look of sheer upset the fact that a scout just killed them with an arrow.
Okay. All right. This is a bear pun, so it gets to state in the KOK questions. Are you the torch bearer of any particular skills?
I would say that I'm fairly decent at sewing, but recently the foam crafting has really picked up.
Yeah.
And I make pretty things that shine now. It's gotten quite nice.
Yeah, if for anyone who hasn't seen it with the lights off, that shield behind her glows in the dark. I reached out, what was it, like the 2 days after Maze Maze?
Yeah, something like that.
It was like,
because I was driving home when you reached out.
Do you do commissions?
I do not. I've done it twice, and it's just too stressful for me.
Sure.
I occasionally make gifts, but the only times I'll do something is I've done prizes for tourneys. I've done a sword and a shield for the women's tourney at Clan, or Gathering of the Crowns, whatever we're calling it now, GOTC.
Yeah.
And those were fun because they gave me a general idea of what they wanted, and then I had freedom to just make whatever it inspired me to make instead of having to fit a particular theme or particular build.
Sure. And again, for your willingness to craft, if you're given a little bit of freedom to doing it, we have a rain theme for the kingdom, heroes and villains. Like
I am in the process of building a pair of daggers for some special people.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Lightning and Beatrix would both like to know, what is your favorite garb that you own?
I'm gonna have to go with my fancy court garb. It's I built it when I was playing HFS in Texas for a little while because the local group kind of went downhill for Amtgard. But it took me so much effort to put it together, and it's so shiny and I love it.
Okay. Um, Melanie Songteller would like to know, what's your favorite crafting skill?
Um, I don't have a favorite. I don't think I like them all. Sometimes I feel like I want to build a weapon. Sometimes I feel like I want to build garb. Sometimes I want to feel like I'm just gonna make something because it's pretty.
Mhm.
So wherever my fancy takes me is what I make. And I've branched out and I've tried different medias. The only thing I can't do at all is draw.
Yeah. Well,
I cannot for the life of me draw better than like stick figures. So all of the stuff is traced. I'm not going to lie.
I feel that. I feel that. What about what is your favorite project that you've worked on?
That's a hard one. I've made a lot of really cool projects.
Mhm.
I think my I think one of the ones that I always come back to is the sword I made for Baihu for his knighting.
Yes.
My favorite part of that was the bone-esque tiger that I made for the hilt,
Mhm.
for the grasp and the handle, whatever you want to call it, because it came out really nice. Even though it's PVC, it looks like bone, and the staining went just perfect. I just I love that piece. The rest of the sword I have issues with, but that piece, that part of it, that little itty part of it is perfect.
If you were gonna say you didn't have a favorite piece, your sword that you gave Bayou for his knighting was going to be the thing I brought up. It's like because I remember when you gave it to him, and that also has a glow in the dark feature.
It's got an LED strip inside the clear core.
Yeah, yeah. So I was again both times I've seen your glow in the dark work. I'm like, that's pretty good. I really
I've
like
uh,
that.
I've played around with the glow in the dark paints, and I just don't like how they fade out so fast typically. Even the
Mhm.
powders that come out that are really bright to begin with typically fade out after no more than maybe an hour. Whereas burying the electronics under foam, I can get brightness for hours of after dark fun.
Right, for sure, for sure. Fire Carlos would like to know. Speaking of your swords and your foam, can you describe your process for making a sword? Specifically, where do you get the awesome shiny fabric for
Okay,
sword
so
covers?
the awesome shiny fabric is really easy. I go to Joann's. The advent of the cosplay sections in the various cloth stores
Hmm.
have really opened up your options. It's a four-way stretch dance fabric, basically. You can find it online if you look for that. It's typically lycra or something similar. And then you just look for metallics. I've got a couple of different ones, but I really like the opalescent ones.
Cool, cool, cool.
As for the flat blade construction, I kind of use the old school Fitz-Callison method, but I've replaced the inner sandwich with 4-pound foam to increase the longevity of the blade.
Okay, all right. It would be nice one day to get you on a like a class to compare your style with like Kenjin and Yang style because they also are the foam sword crafters and see maybe you guys already are doing the same thing, but
Well,
interesting.
so the Fitz-Callison method is kind of old. I'm not kidding. It is old school, 2012, 2010. But the benefit of it is that it requires very little in the way of equipment.
Okay.
So I have a Dremel, I have a box cutter, and I have glue and some tape. That's it.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, again, still though, maybe there's a hybriding in there that for a new person to learn from both. Anyways, that
It's a
doesn't
great
matter.
starting one until you have more gear or kind of a way to get into it without putting a huge investment into something. I just don't have the space for more tools for my my armory, I guess.
So, okay. All right, we got another question with a bear pun here. What would you consider to be the bare necessity of Amp that new players should focus on?
Um, Having fun. There's no point in playing the game if you're not going to have fun. So find the thing that makes you happy and go with it.
Mhm. Hmm.
There's no
Hmm.
point to stress over something you can't do yet, something that you're not good enough at. You don't start off good at anything. You'll get good eventually. Or not. I still suck at melee fighting, other than polearm. But
Fair.
that doesn't mean I don't have fun doing it.
Yeah, having fun. I mean, that's what it's our hobby, right? We're
Yeah, it's
supposed
a
to be
hobby.
having
You're
fun.
supposed to be having fun. If it's stressing you out, it's time to take a break.
Yeah, fair enough. Still would like to know if you could tell us a little bit about your heraldry.
So I've always been a fan of Tamara Pierce with the lioness and that whole thing. So
Mhm.
it's a lioness rampant, and then the triangle is because I thought it looked nicer.
Okay, fair enough.
Look, I designed it when I was 15. I'm not going to claim much for it.
That's cool. I mean, to have something since you were 15 that you're still using, and
I like it. It's simple. It's not a huge amount of work to put on gear, and I like it.
cool. Awesome. So this, for some reason, this question has gotten back-to-back yeses on Kingdom of Kodiak. So Kato has continued to have it on here, and we're going to continue to ask it. How do you feel about back shields in version 9?
I am not a super fan of them. I would rather not.
Yes.
As much as that would probably save my ass on the field a lot, I would still be rather not.
Oh man, you're Archer with a back shield? Yeah. But
I can't run very far, but I can book it for a short amount of time
yeah.
until I get some meat shields in between me and whatever's chasing me.
Right. Yeah. That sorry, Kato. Yeah, it still should be a no. But we got 1 week in a row since someone has says yes. So good. But then Kato's second question, the caveat question, the question that follows this each time, Terwolf, to flurb or not to flurb?
Totally flurb.
Totally.
If you're not flirbing, you're not living up to your full potential. You've got to have the pretty weapons and the pretty gear. And if you're not playing up, something while you're on the field, when everybody else is into it and feeling it, then you're not having fun.
Good. Yes. Zana would like to know, are there any rain themes that you would like to see?
I've always had a lot of fun with the rain themes that we've had, so I'm not excuse me, I'm not super picky. Just having rain themes I think is a great thing. And a lot of the a lot of the traditional rain themes like Alice in Wonderland or Lord of the Rings or Skyrim, that would be a good one.
Skyrim? Okay. All right.
But I think we can draw a lot of inspiration from different media sources as a fantasy RP game.
Yeah. I can absolutely see a scenario where we do a Skyrim raid and someone wins the title of Dragonborn. Especially in Dragon Spine, where that would
it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah. I might tinker with that a little bit. And maybe so if you played Skyrim enough, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a rant here. Here's me getting on my soapbox. If you played Skyrim enough, you know about the Dawnstar or the Dawnstar's hidden chest.
And
I feel like why not just have like 4 random chests in the kingdom where people could get a relic and just be like, oh, by the way, I'm not telling you where they are.
Yeah, you just send them out to various parks. It's all like, yeah, just hold on to this for a while.
Yes, and then we would just ignore the merchant glitch where if you hit me, it respawns. I'm not. No
glitches in our version.
Right. All right. Morgan would like to know, what's your favorite Amtgard event?
I have to say Maze is one of my favorites, but Gathering of the Crowns, GOTC, I've been hitting them up since I was 15, and I just adore them. The fun times I've had there, totally worth the altitude sickness.
Well, it's just so much more people too, right? Like Maze is great. It's big, but GOTC is way bigger.
Yeah.
It's a multitude
I've been down to, Spring War and the CK, and it's it's fun, but the heat exhaustion is not worth it.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's like what, 5 or 6 times bigger. But yeah, for sure. Both of those great events. Kenjin would like to know, what does your perfect AmpGuard event look like?
I think it's an event with a lot of fun battle games, maybe some quests. Nighttime events are always fun. If
Mhm.
I'm not coming home sad, sorry, and sore from the fact that I have just been playing for like 48 hours straight, I don't think it's worth it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I feel that every single time. I've only been to
The sad
GOTC a
part
couple
is
times.
going home.
Yeah,
If I'm not sad to go home, then it just wasn't worth it.
yeah. I've driving as Damon Jade's father's van back from GOTC every year by myself and just being like, I don't want to go home. I want to keep doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So Freya would like to know if you could tell us about your best experience in AmpGuard. You've had a long history. Give us a best experience.
So I think one of my best experiences was my first clan. I'm not gonna lie. I was 15. My squire at the time had escorted me on site because my parents didn't have any idea what I was doing, but they were very supportive. And I hooked up with another person with the same last name as me. And the first couple of nights, we'd wander around from camp to camp. We're 15-year-olds, mind you.
Yeah.
And she's a healer, and I've been playing Scout. So she's like, we're lost. And I'm like, no, we're not lost. I know exactly where we are. Right here. I know exactly where we're going. The problem is getting from point A to point B. And we just did that for like a couple of nights in a row, and it was just fun. The camps would give us food and drinks, non-alcoholic. They were actually legit people. Because back then there were some people who would just say, oh, look, here, have some alcohol. But no, it was great.
Okay. Awesome. Zancha would like to know, what do you want to accomplish in the next few years of your AmpGuard career?
Honestly, I've never really had goals for AmpGuard. It's just I want to go out and I want to have fun.
Okay.
That's the only reason I play AmpGuard, to go out and have fun. Maybe make some more pretty things. I do like making pretty things and hitting people with them. It does make me happy.
So is there any aspirations to make the prettiest thing?
I think it's always a work in progress. I don't think I'm ever going to make the prettiest thing. Sure. I'm going to try really, really hard, though.
That's fair. Sir Smiley would like to know, what's the greatest lesson that you've learned now that you wish you learned then?
Honestly, I used to get really stressed about doing well in fighting, really wanting to not be a drag on the team. Mm-hmm. And now I really enjoy it. And even if I'm not the greatest, I'm just there to have fun. If I can support my teammates and we can manage something, even if it's not a full win, it's still better than nothing.
Sure. Okay.
I was super competitive when I was younger.
Well, speaking of teams, let's talk about fighting companies and households. Are you in any?
So I'm still technically part of the Amazons. I joined when I was 15, 16 because my belt line at the time was all Amazons. So still technically part of them. And then I'm on the 22nd Legion, which is a veterans household.
Yeah, I didn't join that one.
No. Well, it's just I like the memes they put up on their page. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Shroud Star. This question has been on for like half the episodes of KOK at this point. It's a really great question. If you could create a letter award in AmpGuard that doesn't already exist, what would it be for and what would you call it?
I think I would call it Order of the Rainbow for your colors who come out and actually RP.
Oh, okay. All right. So we've talked about this last week, right? The idea of dragging kind of getting dispersed a little bit, and RP being in the dragging category, and then also pointing it towards like, hey, if you're a color who's NPCing at our park,
Hmm.
like, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, okay. Order of the Rainbow.
Well, I mean, they're colors,
Yeah,
so you have a ladder award for the colors of the rainbow until they have a ball.
fair enough. Okay, I like that. I like that. Um, Around the same lines, but slightly different. If you could change one rule in Amcard right now, what would it be and why?
I ain't gonna lie, I'd give scouts back their flame arrows. I missed
S-
that shit.
Scouts with flame arrows. Okay, all right. Uh, well, so Freya would like specifically to talk about Dragon Master and Weapon Master. Is there anything that you would change with the current award system for Dragon Master and Weapon Master?
Well, not like a huge amount. I don't really enter into Dragon Masters very often because I don't have the inspiration to create more than one or two pieces, or the time
Mhm.
for that matter. So I can never get the spread that you have to get a Dragon Master, and that's perfectly fine. It's acceptable. Um, as for Weapon Master, I mean, as long as we're being equal opportunity and everybody's having a chance at it, I think it works fairly well. If we
Awesome.
wanted to split it into like a mixed into a non-mel or whatever, that would work too. But honestly, I think
Well,
as it is,
Dragonspine did do that.
yeah,
So, we spent a lot of the time during the shutdown getting stuff like that squared away, so that we are trying to create an equal opportunity for everyone who plays the game.
yeah,
So awesome! Thanks for
exactly.
bringing that up. That's good. Pat yourself on the chest, Dragonspine. You did it. Um, Still, would like to know. You've been playing the game for a minute, right? We've talked about this. You've been playing since you're 15. You've been playing for a while. So you've got to see a whole bunch of people. Can you tell us about 5 up and comers that you'd like to shout out?
So I don't get out as much as I used to because of my job, the way it's configured and whole plague on the land. But there's a couple that I've always enjoyed interacting with. Um, I'm terrible with names, so Baihu Sun, he's not an up and
Kriv,
comer anymore.
Kriv. Yeah, no,
Kriv,
he's
yeah,
not an up and comer. He's at the cusp of
I know,
the white
but
belt at this
I've
point.
always enjoyed RPing with him.
Mhm.
Um, but honestly, I don't get out enough to meet the newbies enough to really make an impression on who's an up and comer or who's just having fun at the game and just kind of meandering along.
Sure. Okay. Well,
Unfortunately, I'd love to get out more, and come spring, I'll be able to go out every weekend if I can make it.
so this actually is going to lead me to a story that you and I share. When Kodiak was a young up and comer, and we went to White Sands for Dame Angel Jade's knighting, and Kodiak left his shoes and his wallet in another person's vehicle. And Kodiak had no way to get home without those supplies. And Terrawolf drove Kodiak around the entire kingdom looking for his. Well,
It
we knew
was
where
just
they
to
were.
Alamogordo. It wasn't
Yeah,
around the entire kingdom.
it was out of the way though.
It wasn't a big deal.
It was.
You
It
don't
was
leave your
still.
friends in a lurch.
Oh.
And Amphgarders are family for the most part. There's some people I can't. They're the
Well,
family that you love, but you love them from like 3 states away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that was very early on in Amphgard for me, and it's one of those things that has stuck. Where it's like, man, like I could have just been left, right? Like someone could have just been like, "Well, we'll take you home, but we're not going and getting these other things for you." And you were like, "No, get in. Let's get this taken care of. We'll get it done. It'll take us an hour. Not that big of a deal." And we did, and it was awesome. And we had a lot of bunch of chit chatting and whatnot. Got to know each other a little bit better. But it's a memory that I have.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Um, Wolf, who do you look up to most in our game?
Oh, that's a hard one. So a very long time ago, there was a knight by the name of Quicksilver
Mhm.
in Dragonspine proper. And she was one of the people that I thought would be the best person to emulate. She had honor, she had, she could craft, she could shoot, she was just the boss.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I have to
Silver
say
a couple times.
Quicksilver. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Um, last question before we get to the most difficult of questions on KOK. We call them the funny ones. Still would like to know your thoughts on Battle Knight. It's confirmed Battle Knight is its own path. It doesn't fall under the sword path. How do you feel about there being a knighthood for battle gaming?
I think it's taken too long for it to show up because we're not just a tourney game. I think we've always needed a path to knighthood for those who play battle games because a lot of people aren't competitive enough to do tourneys well, but they know their classes, they know their abilities. They can roll onto the field and they will just wreck the team balance. And it's not necessarily their fighting abilities, it's how they use their class abilities.
Yeah, totally agree. All right. Well, let's get to the most difficult of KOK questions. And we'll start off with Stillhead Singer. What's the coolest dog you've ever met?
Corgis. Pembroke Welsh corgis. Oh, unless we're talking about like Amtgard dogs. In that case, it would be Wizard. He was a husky. He owned an archer. It was great.
I'm sorry. Right off to my left, Deverick is staring at me because he wants me to ask the Mountain Dew question, but it's not time for the Mountain Dew question, and he should know that, being that he's watched all of the episodes. So yes, the dog, yes. TerraWolf, TerraWolf. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Triceratops.
Okay,
Today.
classic.
It'll be something different tomorrow.
Okay.
I might have to go with raptors because they did become birds.
That's fair. That's fair. What's the best kind of what's the best kind of dragon?
So that I guess depends on the mythology we're using, because I'm kind of partial to the Ryu.
Okay.
But if we're going with traditional European dragons or the D&D version, I've always been a fan of the Prism, like the Amethyst dragon, stuff like that. Prismatic.
Yeah, sweet. Okay. What about your favorite fictional knight? Uh-oh. Did you freeze? Did I freeze?
Oh,
there we go.
We're there back. You go. Okay. Sorry, my internet kind of went out for a second.
At least it wasn't me. I don't want Smiley offering my beard
my
up
internet
in an
connection is unstable. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
So what was the question?
Your favorite fictional knight?
Alana, the lioness. Rampant. Yeah. From the Tamara Pierce books. Sure. Or maybe the protector of the small from that night from that series, because she was pretty cool.
Okay. What about your Sakri? Would like to know what's the best fictional sword? What's the best fictional or non-fictional sword name?
Well, I'm sure you get a lot of Excaliburs, but I've run across a couple of interesting sword names through my reading habits, which are extensive and rather interesting. But Bloodsinger has always been a name I found interesting.
Okay. And the next question is from Sir Smiley asking, what is your favorite book of all time?
Oh, that one's hard. I have read so many books. You have no idea. I'm a voracious reader. I guess my original love that got me into reading was The Black Stallion. So if I was going to pick a book that I'd have to say was my all-time favorite, it would have to be that one.
Okay. All right. TerraWolf, do you play Magic the Gathering?
I have.
Okay. And what was your color combination?
I typically played white or green.
Okay. All right. Solo colors, just white or green.
Yeah, I didn't like running out of mana. I was weird like that.
All right. And TerraWolf, what's your favorite color overall?
I've gone through a couple of phases, but I have to admit black is always a good color because it can go with anything. So recently we're going to go with darker tones, blacks and dark blues. Although I've picked up some nice sea gray colors that I'm going to play with and see how that goes.
Sweet. Black, Honolulu blue, and maybe a little bit of silver. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So a selfish question that makes your way into your funny questions. Is Kodiak more of a Jedi or a Sith?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with Gray Jedi.
Yeah, you would. I want to open it and show you, but no, come on, just do the thing. Well, the Gray Jedi code is back there. Yes, yes, he is a Gray Jedi. Fantastic. All right, Tara Wolf. Amtgard's making a live action movie. Who is playing Tara Wolf?
Ooh. Like, do I get to be somebody I'm totally not? Because there's a number of actresses out there that are super hot.
Who do you want to play Tara Wolf?
Actually, I don't do a lot of actors' names, so I can't answer the question.
Okay.
I only know them in their various roles. I never cared enough to learn their names.
Well, give us their role, and the community will figure it out for you.
Fair enough. I guess. Let's see. I can't think of anybody. I'm terrible at this. Babe, who would I be? In a movie, who would I be?
What, like character ones?
No, like if somebody was to play me in a movie.
I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, no, we're totally stumped. We
Okay.
can't think of anybody unique enough to portray me properly.
Okay. All right. So when this mystery celebrity comes out on the screen, what is the theme song that is playing?
So Within Temptation, the song would be Stand My Ground.
Okay. All right. We're in a different universe now. No live action movie is being made, but everyone has a superpower. What's your superpower?
Ooh, what would be my superpower? I'd have to say a traveling library. That I know all the information on the books that are inside of it.
Okay, so maybe you're going around collecting books you don't have to put in your library?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. You're really big on people's journals, so you know about their
Yes, Tara Wolf would become a journal thief. I require this information.
right. All right. Still, I would like to know, what's your favorite conspiracy and what's your favorite Amtgard conspiracy?
Favorite conspiracy. So I'm gonna go with my favorite conspiracy is gonna go with the birds or drones, because that is just amusing. And then Amtgard conspiracy. I don't think I know any Amtgard conspiracies. I mean, I've heard a couple, but they were all like crappy ones, so it's not really my cup of tea.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Think about that one.
Okay. Lightning would like to know, would you rather adopt 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
100 duck-sized horses. Ducks are vicious creatures, and while it would make a great mount, keeping it would suck.
Okay. Well, Stillhead wants to put this one on its head. Would you rather fight a duck-sized horse or a horse-sized duck?
Duck-sized horse. You just punt that thing.
Okay.
Horses are stupidly fragile.
Tara Wolf, big question here. Are birds real?
They're drones, apparently.
Yes, they're drones, apparently. All right. Freya would like to know, is there a better drink than Mountain Dew?
Depends on what you want out of it. So, if you just want to stay up all night and be jittery as fuck, no. But if you want other things out of whatever you're drinking, yes.
Okay. Well, I like to be jittery. So the question that's going to make this house either go into a riot or, make me and Deverick never talk again. What's better, Code Red or Baja Blast?
Code Red.
Code Red, you say? Code Red, you say? Deverick, farewell. We did it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Oh, that's just the best question nowadays. Deverick sits right next to me when that question is asked. Anyways, Sir Nikolai would like to know, what's your favorite drink?
Uh, I've kind of got a lot of favorite drinks, but in general, I'm kind of a cherry Coke gal
Ah, yes. Okay. All
or a
right.
Shirley Temple. It depends on how fancy I'm feeling.
Cherry flavor for sure, though.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Yeah. Okay. And then when's the last time you drank water?
Oh God, a very long time ago. I don't like how it
Ooh.
tastes up here. It's just even filtered, it tastes funny.
Okay. All right. We're going to do some either ors real quick. Okay. Just give me the answer that you think it fits. Apple juice or orange juice?
Orange,
Hot dog. Is it a sandwich or a taco?
both.
Ice cream or custard?
Custard,
Waffle or pancakes?
waffle.
Tara Wolf, how much is too much to spend on breakfast?
Depends on how hungry you are.
Okay. What's your favorite addition to a bowl of yogurt?
Crumble, like
Crumble,
granola
okay.
crumble.
Granola? Yep. Okay. Is oatmeal a soup?
Depends on how you cook it.
Okay. All right. Does Tajima deserve Sonic?
Yes, everybody deserves
Yes.
Sonic.
The King and Crocs shall have Sonic.
Yes.
Last 4 questions. Morgan would like to know, what's the square root of a bowl of oatmeal?
Mm, an empty bowl.
An empty bowl. Okay. Can you, with as much detail as possible, explain what the color of the letter F smells like?
Like a honey truck in the middle of a summer in Iraq.
I don't like any of that.
I don't either, but that's why it makes you say the F word.
Okay, fine. Morgan would like to know, if you could meet anyone in history, who would it be and why? Is it Freddie Mercury?
Because A, Freddie Mercury was a badass singer, and B, my husband would die of envy.
Okay. Last question. Let me catch my breath. If it takes a chicken and a half, a day and a half to lay an egg and a half, how long would it take a grasshopper with a wooden leg to get the seed out of a dill pickle?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Terwolf, thank you so much for coming on today. If you could just bear with me through some announcements, we'll say our
Sure.
goodbyes. Dragon Spine. The Coffer team has set out another survey. We had 33 respondents so far. Next week, Monday, the Coffer team's going to meet and go over that data. I would like to point out that this is a chain of surveys we've been doing, and we're asking more specific questions that are more targeted towards what was answered on the previous survey. Please don't assume that we're just trying to take funds from parks and whatnot. It is the steps we're taking and the answers that we've received is what's led to the questions that are currently being asked. Regions challenges have started. The second one has come out. Freya's been doing a great job with those. You should start doing those. Along with that, our king, Tajima, has put out bids for mid-rain and end rain. So if your park's interested in hosting, please put your bid in. This should be a lot of fun. It's going to be we're coming back to playing full time again. And, it'd just be nice to see everyone in person. I think those are, that's not it. Dragon Spine has a merch store. You should go to that and buy merch, buy Kingdom of Kodiak merch, get yourself some additionally spandex pants or a belt favor with the bear on it.
Ooh,
Do those things. Yeah, well, belt favor's not actually on the list, but I keep saying it because
you say it and then you break my heart. It's vicious, Kodiak. Just vicious.
Apologies. Buy a KOK hoodie. Buy stickers. Buy stuff. It's gonna help fund the Kingdom Coffer. Tajima is going to be learning the fate of how much Dragon Spine will have to pay, as well as the other kingdoms, to AIBOD soon. And for those who were unaware, AIBOD has set the policy in place that if you do not pay dues to AIBOD, you do not get a vote on the COM. So we don't want to lose those privileges, especially with all of the great changes that AmpGuard is making right now, and with V9 possibly being on the table soon. We wouldn't want to lose those voting privileges. So we have to find the way to make that money. Tara Wolf, thank you so much for coming on. as usual, when I get to speak to you, it is a pleasure.
No problem, Kodiak.
All right. So next week, for certain, there will be no KOK. I'm going to be traveling. It's going to be a week off. I may be back the week after that for a KOK, but if not, it will be a nightly chat 3 weeks from now, as long as the people that I've reached out to, Shion, says that they'll come on. But until then, this has been Kingdom of Kodiak, and I'm Kodiak.